Germany is undergoing a military transformation that Europe has not seen since 1945. At the center of this change is General Carsten Breuer, head of Germany's armed forces, and today, arguably the most important military figure in Europe. He has been given a clear mission to rapidly expand Germany's armed forces and turn them into Europe's most powerful conventional army. And the reason is not abstract. It is Russia. Breuer believes Russia is actively rebuilding its military strength through recruitment and heavy investment in weapons. According to his assessment, this buildup could make Russia capable of launching an attack on NATO territory by 2029. He says, "I've never experienced a situation which is as dangerous, as urgent as it is today." And he is even more direct about the threat. What we are facing is a threat from Russia. We can clearly see that Russia is building up its military to a strength which is nearly double the size of what they had before the war against Ukraine. In 2029, it will be possible for Russia to conduct a major war against NATO. And as a soldier, I have to say, okay, we have to be prepared for this. This is not political rhetoric. It is military planning. Breuer joined the West German Army in 1984 at the age of 19. He is described as calm, soft-spoken, and analytical, not a stereotypical aggressive military figure. But beneath that calm tone is a strong strategic urgency. His task is not just to defend Germany, but to reshape its entire military structure and position it at the center of European security. Germany's armed forces are now expanding rapidly in both size and funding. Projected military spending, $95 billion in 2025, Euro $162 billion by 2029. This increase reflects a major national shift. Opinion polls also suggest strong public support for this military expansion, but this level of rearmament is historically sensitive. For much of the 20th century, Germany's military history is defined by war, destruction, and occupation across Europe. After World War II, Germany deliberately reduced its military role, accepting demilitarization principles set after 1945. The goal was clear. Germany would never again become a military threat to Europe. For decades, that principle shaped German identity. Now that assumption is changing. A visible sign of this shift is Lithuania. Germany now has a permanent military presence there for the first time since the Nazi occupation. Around 1,200 German troops are stationed in Lithuania. That number will rise to nearly 5,000 by next year. This deployment marks a historic reversal of post-war policy. The region is part of the Great European Plain, a flat corridor stretching from Western Europe to Russia. There are no major mountain barriers, no natural defensive lines. Historically, this terrain has been a pathway for invasions. In 1812, Napoleon advanced through it toward Moscow. In 1941, Hitler's forces reached near Moscow before being pushed back to Berlin. This geography has shaped centuries of European warfare. German forces in Lithuania are now conducting live-fire exercises close to Belarus, simulating Eastern invasions. Lieutenant Colonel Sebastian Hagen, commander of Panzer Brigade 45, explains, "Our Chancellor announced that we are building up the most powerful conventional army in Europe. And we are not doing this alone, obviously. We are doing this in NATO and in the European Union." The emphasis is repeated constantly. Germany is not acting alone. It is acting inside NATO and the EU. During the Cold War, West Germany maintained over 500,000 troops under NATO structure. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, Germany reduced its military significantly, defense budgets declined across Europe, equipment shortages became extreme. At one point, recruits reportedly trained with broom handles instead of rifles due to shortages. Between 2007 and 2017, Germany spent around 1.2% of GDP on defense. This reflected a long period of reduced military focus. Now the target has shifted dramatically. Germany's new defense ambition is around 5% of GDP. Other countries are also increasing spending. UK, aiming for 5% by 2035. France, targeting 3.5%. But even these increases remain below Russia's estimated 7.1% of GDP spent on military in 2024. This shift is not only financial, it is psychological and political. After 1945, Germany was structurally demilitarized by Allied agreement. Later, West Germany accepted this as part of its post-war identity. But in 2025, the German parliament changed constitutional borrowing rules to allow increased defense spending. This is a major turning point because Germany has historically been extremely cautious about debt due to the 1920s hyperinflation crisis, the rise of extremist politics afterward. A senior researcher described it as, "It's been a cultural revolution. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is widely seen as the trigger." A key factor behind Germany's shift is uncertainty about long-term U.S. commitment to European security. Political signals and diplomatic tensions have increased doubts in Europe about American reliability. This has pushed Germany toward the idea of operational independence within NATO. In simple terms, Europe's still inside NATO, but less dependent on the U.S. For decades, Germany's defense strategy relied on U.S. military protection, NATO leadership structure, American nuclear and intelligence backing, but analysts now argue this foundation is weakening. One commentator described it as post-war German foreign policy being built on a stable U.S. alliance, that assumption now being disrupted. This creates uncertainty across Europe. General Breuer has outlined major force expansion plans. Current personnel, 182,000 soldiers. Target increase, plus 20,000 within 1 year. Long-term increase, plus 60,000 within 10 years. Reserve force target, 200,000. Recruitment is also rising, 16,100 applications in February, 20% increase year on year. 5,300 new recruits joined, 14% increase. If recruitment fails, Germany may consider reintroducing conscription. Germany is also restructuring its defense industry, traditionally reliant on U.S. systems such as fighter aircraft, missile systems, tanks. Now the strategy is reduce dependence on U.S. suppliers, increase domestic production, prioritize buy German where possible. Many companies are shifting from civilian manufacturing to defense production. What Germany still lacks, military gaps. According to Breuer, Germany and Europe still lack key capabilities: intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, ISR, drone warfare systems, deep precision strike capability, space-based military systems. These are now top priorities for development. When asked about leading Germany into potential conflict, Breuer responded indirectly, "The mission is not war. It is preparation. What I'm doing is to prepare Germany to be able to defend itself. This is deterrence for us. We will deter the threat from the Russian side." He summarizes it in one idea: prepare for war to prevent war. The U.S. defense budget remains around $961.6 billion. This is far larger than any European nation individually. Experts agree, no single European country can replace U.S. military capacity alone. Cooperation will still define European defense. Germany is expected to play a leading role, but not a dominant one. Eastern European countries, especially Poland and the Baltic states, now see German rearmament differently than in the past. Poland, once wary of German military power, now views it as stabilizing, necessary for NATO defense, a counterbalance to Russia. As one former Polish general noted, Germany has moved from defense underinvestment to becoming one of the world's top defense spenders. General Breuer describes the moment as a wake-up call. Germany now has rising military budgets, expanding troop numbers, renewed defense industry, increasing strategic independence from the U.S., permanent deployments on NATO's eastern flank. And yet, the message remains consistent. This is not about returning to past power politics. It is about deterrence. But history remains present in every decision Germany makes. And that is what makes this transformation one of the most significant geopolitical shifts in modern Europe. Because for the first time since 1945, Germany is not stepping back from military power. It is stepping into it.